Hi there, this is part 28 of our tutorial. Here we create a parallax, a rating, and an image component. We place these on the grid. As usual, we have created different pages for these components and we will show each page using the router. Let's open our parallax page. We have created a V container via the designer, then injected parallax on row 1 column 1 of the grid. Our container has 2 rows, each with 1 column, each column spans 12 spaces. We use load layout to inject the layout to a placeholder. We then get the ID for row 1 column 1 of the grid. We add that parallax there. In our previous example, we used a Banano element to create our user interface. That was just for the basic understanding. The Vue element is just an extended Banano element. From IntelliSense, we have the specify_me, which is the code module hosting the component, the parent element, the ID of the parallax and some other properties. When the page is completely designed, it's added to the pages collection of the app. There is something new we have done here. We have Vuetify add parallax. This seems more homely. This gives us an opportunity to create a parallax within the global namespace code, but then can add it anywhere, whether it's the main app or its instances via the pages. For the rating, we have done similar. We use a container created via the designer, then we execute add rating. Yes, we can also design the container via code and build its grid. We will possibly do so soon. When the grid is built, each row and column is given an identifier based on the container name. The matrix ID call gets us these identifier names using row and column locations. Let's change some of the properties for this rating and also ensure we can fire the input event to trap its value. The V model will store any user selected value. We can use getData to retrieve it. Before, we used new rating. We realized this could be confusing and add rating is more appropriate. We will change the number of stars from the current 6 to 5. We will also change the color to orange. The ID of the rating is rate2. The value of the rating will be stored on a state variable named rati. We use getData to retrieve this value. Let's find and open up the image page we have created. The image is placed inside the container matrix position. Here we have built a grid with 5 rows and 2 columns each. Let's make this one row and increase the column sizes. We load the layout, we get the location name at row 1 column 1 and then add an image there. For the image, we have the source URL and the lazy load source. We had set the width and height to be 500, let's make this 700. Let's run to see the new changes. This is now reflecting our new changes we made to the components. And lastly, our beautiful image.